Lift up around because I ain't want my neighbors to think, oh, so
See how she holding the bottle?
I rebuke this, I rebuke.
The most beautiful and unforgettable person to know. I can't wait to see you. Win holy hands, I love you. Oh, period. What's up? The most beautiful and unforgettable person to know. I can't wait to see you. Win holy hands, I love you. Oh, period. What's up?
What is she doing on stage?
When it comes to viral parenting moments, few names spark debate like Chrisean rock. This week, fans are once again sounding off after a clip surfaced showing her still holding baby Chrisean Jr.'s bottle during a public outing. The footage spread fast, with social media users questioning whether the toddler should be feeding himself by now. Some rushed to defend her, saying every child develops differently, while others accused her of ignoring obvious milestones. Now the internet is divided. Is this just normal parenting, or another red flag in a long line of controversies surrounding Chrisean and her son? The latest viral moment involving Chrisean rock didn't come from a music release, a court appearance, or a reality TV confrontation. Instead, it came from something much more personal. A short clip showing her feeding Chrisean Jr. while holding his bottle for him. What might seem like a small, everyday parenting moment quickly turned into a heated online debate. Within hours, blogs reposted the video, reaction pages added commentary, and thousands of social media users began weighing in. In the clip, Chrisean Jr. appears calm, sitting comfortably as his mother holds the bottle steady. There's no visible distress, no chaotic background, just a mother feeding her child. But for many viewers, the issue wasn't what was happening. It was how it was happening. Critics immediately pointed out that Chrisean Jr. is getting older, and questioned whether he should be feeding himself independently by now. Comments flooded in, ranging from genuine concern to outright criticism. Some accused Chrisean of babying him. Others suggested she may be delaying certain milestones. Supporters, however, quickly pushed back. They argued that social media only shows a few seconds of someone's life, not the full picture. Parenting isn't a one-size-fits-all journey. Some children take longer to develop certain skills, and many parents continue assisting with bottles longer than outsiders might expect. Defenders also noted that development can vary widely depending on a child's needs, temperament, and even medical considerations. What makes this moment bigger than just a bottle is Chrisean's history of being heavily scrutinized online. Ever since she welcomed Chrisean Jr., every parenting decision has been placed under a microscope. From how she carries him, to what he wears, to how he responds in public. Everything becomes headline material. For many celebrities, public attention comes with the territory. But for Chrisean, whose life has already been filled with drama, legal troubles, and highly publicized relationships, the criticism often feels amplified. Some fans believe the bottle controversy. It's less about the bottle and more about perception. Chrisean has built a public image that blends vulnerability, unpredictability, and emotional transparency. Supporters appreciate her honesty and resilience. Critics, on the other hand, question her stability and readiness for motherhood. So when moments like this surface, they don't exist in isolation. They attach themselves to the broader narrative. People already believe. Another layer to the conversation revolves around developmental milestones. While many toddlers begin holding their own bottles at a certain age, pediatric development isn't identical across the board. Some children transition to cups earlier, others later, without knowing Chrisean Jr.'s specific circumstances, medical guidance, or daily routine. Outside observers are largely speculating, yet social media often treats speculation as fact. There's also a cultural element at play. In some communities, extended nurturing behaviors are seen as loving and attentive. In others, independence is encouraged as early as possible. The debate online reflects those differing philosophies. One side argues that encouraging self-feeding builds motor skills and independence. The other side believes there's nothing wrong with offering comfort and assistance. While a child is still young, meanwhile, Chrisean herself hasn't issued a lengthy response to the criticism. Historically, she tends to address backlash in brief bursts, sometimes through live streams, sometimes through cryptic posts, and sometimes not at all. In past situations, she has made it clear that she feels judged more harshly than other celebrity mothers. She's spoken openly about the pressure of raising a child under constant public commentary, especially while navigating personal challenges. The timing of this controversy also matters. Chrisean has been attempting to reshape parts of her public image, focusing more on motherhood, faith, and personal growth. For some supporters, the bottle clip contradicts the idea that she's fully stepping into a structured parenting routine. For others, it's proof that she's hands-on and present. It's important to note that viral parenting critiques aren't new. Celebrity mothers across entertainment have faced similar judgment. From feeding choices to sleep training decisions, almost every public figure with a child has endured waves of unsolicited advice. The difference with Chrisean is the intensity. Her name trends quickly. Her clips circulate rapidly. And because her personal life has often played out publicly, people feel entitled to comment. Some observers argue that the conversation says more about internet culture than about Chrisean's parenting. Social media thrives on outrage and debate. A calm, ordinary moment doesn't generate clicks, but controversy does. By framing a simple feeding interaction as questionable, pages spark engagement. Comments rise, shares increase, and the cycle continues still. Underlying the noise is a real question many fans have. Is Chrisean Jr. hitting his milestones appropriately? That question isn't inherently malicious. Concern can come from a genuine place. But the way it's expressed online often blurs into harsh criticism. Without medical context or direct insight into their private life, the public can only guess. At the end of the day, the bottle moment has become symbolic. To critics, it represents what they believe are ongoing parenting missteps. To supporters, it represents unnecessary bullying. Toward a young mother learning as she goes, the truth likely exists somewhere in the middle. Parenting is messy, imperfect, and constantly evolving. What's undeniable is this. When it comes to Chrisean Rock, even the smallest moments can explode into full-blown internet debates. And as long as cameras are around and clips keep surfacing, every action, even holding a bottle, will continue to spark conversation as the debate over the bottle clip continued to gain traction. The conversation quickly expanded beyond just that single moment. Critics began compiling older footage of Chrisean Rock and Chrisean Jr., comparing timelines and pointing out what they believe are patterns. On platforms like TikTok and Instagram, users created side-by-side edits, analyzing everything from how he sits, how he reacts to sounds, and how he interacts with his surroundings. What started as one short feeding clip turned into a broader discussion about parenting, development, and accountability in the public eye. Some viewers expressed concern about fine motor skills, arguing that holding a bottle independently is typically one of the earlier milestones toddlers achieve. They claimed that encouraging self-feeding helps strengthen coordination and independence. Others questioned whether Chrisean might be relying too heavily on assistance. Instead of gradually transitioning him to sippy cups or solid food routines, these comments were often framed as advice, but the tone online didn't always feel supportive. On the other side, defenders pointed out a major flaw in the criticism. Social media does not reflect a full-time reality. A few seconds of footage cannot determine a child's overall development. Just because Chrisean was holding the bottle in that moment doesn't mean Chrisean Jr. never feeds himself. Many parents step in occasionally, whether out of convenience, bonding, or simply because the child prefers comfort in certain situations. There's also the emotional element of motherhood. For some mothers, feeding their child even longer than necessary can be a bonding ritual. The quiet act of holding a bottle, making eye contact, and ensuring their baby is calm can feel intimate and nurturing. Supporters argued that perhaps Chrisean simply enjoys those moments and isn't rushing to push independence for the sake of public approval. However, critics argue that because Chrisean lives such a public life, she has to understand the scrutiny that comes with it. Every live stream, every outing, every candid video becomes content. And once it's content, it becomes commentary. Some believe that if she doesn't want people analyzing her parenting, she should limit what she shares. Others counter that she has every right to share her life without being dissected. Another layer fueling the debate is Chrisean's broader reputation. Over the years, she's been associated with highly publicized conflicts, emotional breakdowns, and unstable relationship headlines. Because of that history, some viewers approach any new situation with skepticism. In their eyes, the bottle clip isn't just about feeding. It's part of a larger narrative they've already constructed about her. Fair or not, perception plays a powerful role online. Meanwhile, a quieter group of voices has tried to bring nuance to the conversation. Some parents and childcare professionals chimed in to explain that developmental timelines vary. Certain children may experience delays for reasons that aren't visible to the public. Others may simply prefer assistance in certain settings, especially when distracted or overstimulated, without professional evaluation or personal insight. Drawing firm conclusions is risky. It's also worth acknowledging the pressure celebrity mothers face in general. When famous fathers make parenting mistakes, criticism often focuses on their absence or behavior. When mothers are involved, the scrutiny tends to feel more personal and detailed. Feeding methods, clothing choices, speech patterns, everything becomes fair game. Chrisean, already a polarizing figure, receives that scrutiny at an amplified level. Some fans worry that constant online criticism could have long-term emotional consequences, not just for Chrisean, but eventually for Chrisean Jr. as he grows older and becomes aware of the narratives surrounding his early childhood. The internet rarely forgets. Clips resurface. Opinions linger. What seems like a trending topic today can become a permanent digital footprint tomorrow at the same time. Critics insist that raising concerns isn't the same as bullying. They argue that public accountability can sometimes encourage growth. If a parent is unaware of certain developmental expectations, widespread discussion might motivate them to seek guidance. But that line between accountability and harassment is thin, and social media often crosses it. Throughout all of this, Chrisean has maintained a relatively low-key stance about the specific bottle backlash. She hasn't launched into lengthy explanations or posted medical clarifications. That silence has only fueled more speculation. Some interpret it as avoidance. Others see it as choosing peace over engagement. Ultimately, the situation highlights something much bigger than a bottle. It reflects how quickly the internet turns ordinary parenting into viral controversy. It shows how public figures can become symbols in larger cultural debates about motherhood and responsibility. And it underscores how perception, once formed, shapes every new narrative. Whether the bottle moment was significant or completely harmless, one thing is clear. For Chrisean Rock, even the smallest gesture can ignite a storm. And in the age of nonstop commentary, that storm doesn't fade quietly. It grows, evolves, and pulls in every past headline along the way. By the time the bottle clip reached broader audiences, it had already taken on a life of its own. Memes, reaction videos, and comment threads were multiplying at lightning speed. Every nuance of Chrisean Rock's actions, from the way she held the bottle to the way Chrisean Jr. looked at her, was being dissected. For many online observers, the moment became emblematic of a larger conversation. What does good parenting look like, especially under the intense microscope of social media? Critics continued to argue that prolonged reliance on a parent for basic tasks could delay independence. Some posts cited general developmental milestones, emphasizing that toddlers often begin feeding themselves around certain ages. To them, seeing Chrisean hold the bottle for her child felt like a missed opportunity to encourage growth. The comments ranged from concerned advice to outright judgment, with many questioning whether her approach aligned with best practices. Supporters, however, fired back immediately. They highlighted that social media rarely tells the full story, noting that every child develops differently and some need more support than others. Many reminded critics that a few seconds of footage cannot define a parent or child's overall routine. Beyond that, some praised Chrisean for her visible dedication and hands-on approach, arguing that a loving presence matters just as much as independence at a given moment. For these supporters, the clip was a testament to a mother prioritizing care, comfort, and connection. The debate also intersected with broader societal discussions about how mothers are judged. Celebrity mothers are often held to impossibly high standards, and Chrisean, with her highly publicized personal life, is no exception. Her every action, from parenting choices to public appearances, is filtered through the lens of public opinion. For some, the bottle incident was proof that she needed guidance. For others, it was simply another unfair critique aimed at a woman doing her best under constant scrutiny, adding another layer. The controversy opened conversations about mental and emotional support for mothers. Raising a child, particularly under public pressure, is challenging. Some experts noted that assisting a child during feeding can be part of nurturing and bonding, which is just as important as encouraging independence. In many cases, child's preference for comfort doesn't indicate developmental issues. It reflects a natural attachment process that's healthy and normal. Despite the polarized opinions, there is no denying that moments like this have lasting effects. Chrisean Jr.'s milestones and Chrisean's parenting style are now topics of public debate, creating pressure and stress for both mother and child. The clip became symbolic not just about a bottle, but about the intersection of motherhood, celebrity, and online judgment. It sparked reflections on the expectations placed on women in public life, the complexities of parenting, and the judgment that comes with visibility. In the end, whether the moment reflects delayed development or simply a brief act of care, it underscores one truth: parenting under the spotlight is never simple. Every gesture, no matter how ordinary, is subject to scrutiny and misinterpretation. For Chrisean, holding a bottle for Chrisean Jr. might have been a quiet, loving act, but to the public, it became another headline, another debate, another reminder that in the age of social media, privacy is nearly impossible. The story serves as a cautionary tale for both parents and observers. It reminds us that viral moments can escalate quickly and that public judgment often lacks context. It also highlights the pressure faced by mothers in the public eye, balancing the desire to nurture with the inevitability of critique. And perhaps most importantly, it calls for a more compassionate understanding for Chrisean Jr., and for every parent navigating the impossible expectations of modern society. Even as the clip fades from trending feeds, the discussion it sparked will linger, shaping perceptions and feeding the ongoing debate about what it means to be a good parent today. Chrisean Rock may simply have been holding a bottle, but in the world of social media, that simple act became a mirror reflecting society's expectations, anxieties, and biases about motherhood. A mirror that won't disappear anytime soon. If you've been following the ongoing conversation around Chrisean Rock and her parenting moments with Chrisean Jr., now is the time to weigh in. Social media is buzzing, and fans everywhere are sharing their opinions, theories, and advice. Whether you think Chrisean is being unattentive, loving mother, or feel concerned about developmental milestones, your voice matters in the discussion. Join the conversation on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter by sharing your perspective respectfully. Engage with fan pages, comment on trending clips, or even post your own insights. Remember, while debates can get heated, the goal is to foster meaningful dialogue, not just clickbait arguments. If you're a parent, you can also share your personal experiences about milestones, self-feeding, and bonding routines to help others understand the variety in child development. For newcomers following the story, this is your chance to catch up on everything from viral clips to expert opinions on parenting under public scrutiny. Stay updated with the latest reactions, clips, and commentary surrounding Chrisean Rock and Chrisean Jr. The story is evolving fast, and your engagement keeps you part of the conversation. Don't miss out on the discussion that has the internet divided.